Dear colleagues, we now start Module 3, which is based on Unit 4 of Skills for Business Studies Intermediate, called Financial Crisis. In spite of the fact that it is just intermediate level, which is most appropriate for first-year students, this material cannot be used earlier than in the end of the second year of our curriculum because of its conceptual and terminological complexity. Actually, I teach this unit to my third-year students as a good introduction to the text on financial markets in Unit 8 for Skills for Business Studies Advanced. The point is that to make learning most effective, students' background knowledge must be sufficient to comprehend the text on the one hand, and on the other, some of the information in it should be new and/or different to what they already know. Moreover, our task as language teachers is to teach students English, not economics, and we should not waste time explaining concepts. That is what they should do once they learn the corresponding English terminology and concepts. If you attempt this text on financial crisis with first-year students, about 90% of its contents will be unfamiliar to them, which might discourage them and cause confusion. As for the third-year students, they must have already read extensively both in their mother tongue and in English about things like types of securities, stock markets, banking, speculation, and still some of the terms in Exercise 1 of Part A on page 16 will most probably be new to them. At least my students were curious to find out about the credit crunch of 2007-2008 and the US subprime lending market. This brings me to the point of understanding the text using background knowledge. In Module 2, we regarded the three main types of connections students make as they read: text to self, text to world, text to text, where text to self means modeling connections between the text and one's own experiences. Text to world is knowledge of the world that helps understand the text. And finally, text-to-text connections indicate how the text they are currently reading reminds them of another text or book they have read. Very few, if any at all, of the 19-year-olds have got any personal experience with assets, speculation, or stock markets, and most of their knowledge comes from reading. So, while analyzing this particular text, they had to recall the texts on forex and types of securities they read in the second year, and some of what they studied about banking in the third year. It is especially valuable that the text in the unit is very much up-to-date, relevant, and provides experts' points of view as it is taken from a textbook on international business environment published in 2009 that made my students really interested to analyze and discuss it. This brings me to the next point of text analysis tasks given in the textbook. That is, identifying points to support an argument and finding support for an opinion. To manage these tasks effectively, it is first of all necessary to make sure that students can tell the difference between a fact, an opinion, and an argument. And I suggest the following simple example-based exercise that will guide them to discover what is what. Ask students to identify the function of each of the following statements. The first, Excel Industries widgets cost $3,954. Second, Excel Industries widgets are too expensive. And third, Excel Industries widgets cost $3,954. Acme Industries widgets are the exact same quality, but they only cost $3,622. Therefore, Excel Industries widgets are too expensive. Then you may give explanations. So, the first statement is a fact, as it just states the price of the item. The second one is an opinion, as it shows personal attitude. And the third one is a deductive argument with an understated premise, a value judgment, that it is bad to pay more money for a widget of exactly the same quality. Therefore, an argument is a structured, reasoned establishment of a point of view on the basis of evidence. With an academic argument, one is trying to persuade somebody or something by showing them how logic and evidence support that point of view. Often, an expert opinion can be drawn to strengthen it. Facts are the foundation stones of an argument. You cannot build one without them. This made clear, tasks B and C in the textbook can be performed with greater ease, though it is necessary to bear in mind a couple of issues. Students try to do the tasks as quickly as possible, so they may misinterpret the statements as they do, not analyze the meaning deeply, but give an answer once they see in the text the same words as in the task. For example, having read the first sentence in the text, there is no general accepted theory to explain the causes of financial crisis, one of the students reported that the argument that is true for the whole paragraph was financial crisis cannot be explained by a theory. So it was necessary, first of all, to make clear that financial crisis can be explained by a theory, but not everyone may agree with it, and then find proof for the second statement in the task, which turned out to be the last sentence in the paragraph. Some students are likely to give an answer with the first words they come across in the text, so it's the teacher's task to make them read more attentively to find out all the corresponding information and choose the strongest and most appropriate statement, as you can see in the video lesson. To conclude, I would like to say that it is crucial to perform an in-depth analysis of the text as it forms the basis of the students' further work, such as retelling the text and writing a text of their own. And here are a few references you might be interested in.